up, YouTube? So I'm just gonna do a quick video on my knee shit because I made a post saying I would, and a lot of people seem interested. So it's just gonna be kind of a quick video talking about the pain I've been having in my knee, what I've been doing to get it better, and kind of stuff like that. So if all you want to see is some training or cool shit, I would just leave right now because I'm not gonna do any cool shit. But so yeah, so before I get into any of this, obviously I'm not like the most professional health scientist person ever, not a doctor. So yeah, don't take everything I say. This is what I'm doing. This is what helps me. This is what my specific problem is. It's just a full disclosure so none of you can bitch at me later. But yeah, so my knee pain started probably like 7 months ago, around the time of the Olympia. You know, backstage, trying to do my routine and stuff. My knee was really hurting getting down on one knee, so that was really me up. And I took some time off after that because I didn't really care about training legs post show. It wasn't a big deal. And then when I started to try and train legs like a month after the show, I was in a lot of pain, so I just did nothing, which was really stupid. But I thought just taking time off knees, I thought I had overtrained them. Just had some like tendonitis, which I still think I have it. But I just thought it was a little inflammation. I was going to take some time off and do nothing about it. So I took about 3 months off completely training legs. Didn't do anything for it, and it really wasn't getting better. So I started to try and do more shit, which is what this video is. And the first thing I noticed, the first thing I got assessed and noticed was bad for me was my feet and ankles. So my feet have completely lost their arch. They're dead flat like that. I'll show you a little clip of that. And my ankles, I've always been weak. I've injured them multiple times throughout sports. So clearly, that's a bad combo. I'm sure one led to another, but I got bad ankles, bad feet. So when you see me squat, I'll put in a video. When you watch me squat, my feet are actually not staying flat on the ground. My outside of my foot is kind of coming up. My heel's curling in. My ankles are caving in as I squat. So that's putting a lot of tension on my knee, which clearly is not optimal. So the number one thing I quickly noticed was to fix my feet. So I've always squatted in Converse. I just got my shoes sitting right here. I've always squatted in Converse. You can see the heel's flat, but there's no support. Like I can just crush that. And clearly this fabric, there's no arch support either. So my flat ass foot is not getting any help from that. So the first thing I switched was the shoes I was wearing. And I know to all my Adidas NMD fans, I'm betraying you. I'm wearing Nike. But they've helped a lot. So the inside here, there's a really hard sole. Flick it. Like that's hard all the way in. So it's a lot of good arch support here. And on the bottom, I can't bend that at all. It's rock solid. Still a flat shoe, just gives you a little bit of arch support. So putting your foot in that is creating a very stable base for you. Whether you're leg pressing, lunges, squatting, whatever, your foot's flat on the ground, it's supported, and it's immediately felt a lot better. I lost some pain, my knee from just switching my shoes, which helped a lot. On top of that, I've been kind of almost self-massaging the bottom of my foot with a lacrosse ball, so just rolling a lacrosse ball over it, and kind of trying to build my arch back right now. So it can be kind of painful, but it helps. I stretch my ankles a lot, especially before leg day. So I just kind of put a lot of weight on it and move my knee side to side over my ankle, trying to stretch it out. And what I'm looking to now, which I should have done a while ago, is orthotics. So those are a custom mold of your foot, which you put into any shoe really, and they're pretty expensive, like $400. So, but worth it, 100%. A lot of people have been telling me I need these, especially bodybuilders. We're all so heavy. Almost all of us have flat feet, wearing shitty shoes, especially not good. So orthotics helps so much with hip, knee, back, lower back problems, anything like that, because obviously your feet are at the base of your body. So that's one of the most important things is having a stable base, right? Foundation to your house, everything. We know that, but we don't really do anything about it. So orthotics and good shoes are a big thing to look into. So that's kind of what my foot would look like with an arch if it were proper. And when I actually relax my foot and just stand, it's more like that. So you can see there's no like incline. There's no rise in my arch at all. My foot's just completely flat on the ground. So you can kind of see too. When I'm just standing, they're not like straight. My shins are not coming straight down onto my foot. They're kind of angled. So not only is that causing me knee pain, but that has caused my feet to increase to a size 13 and a half, like almost a 14 sometime. And oh man, shoes do not look good in size 13. So fix your feet so your feet don't grow. Especially if any girls are watching this. I know you like having small feet. Big feet. There's no nice shoes in size 13. So like I mentioned, this is just a video of my squat, the movement I'm avoiding right now, and a big thing I thought caused my pain. So everyone had always told me that my squat form was perfect, and like everything was good, back straight, knees not tucking under, or butts not tucking under, knees are out. But if you watch here, as I'm coming down on my reps, especially my left ankle there, you can see it's really kind of caving in. Everything else looks perfect. Yeah, I'm pushing 405 like it's nothing, but you can see there's a lot of stress going on to my knee, even though they're over my toes, just because of that ankle and that foot right there. So that's a result of my foot being flat and my ankles being super weak, which is not good, especially for squats or really any kind of other leg movement. So obviously a really important thing for your ankles here and your feet is like little exercises to get them done. I'm not going to try and push too much on physiotherapist exercise in this episode. I'm not a damn TV show. In this video. So, but they are very important, and especially these ones. So I'm going to attach you guys to a guy, obviously more professional, and in this field. I'm going to put that link in the bio below. I'll label it like ankle exercises, and it's a video. Pretty much, it's not the first one I saw, but it's what the exercises I've learned and I've been doing that have been helping out mine a lot. So yeah, that link will be in the below, and you guys can check that out after this video, or if you want to leave already, whatever you want. But yeah, so those are some good exercises, which actually strengthening your ankle and some different muscles in your calves and whatnot can actually help build up that support in your arch. So definitely check that out. Getting into a little more specific is of what actually is like causing the pain and what's wrong is I've found from everyone I've talked to and the people I've seen for help that my patella is not tracking properly. So it's kind of supposed to, the top of your femur sits on the bottom of your leg, and the bottom of your femur kind of has two ends to it, the lateral on the outside and medial epicondyle, and your patella kind of sits in front, kind of in between the two, and it's supposed to track properly in between. But what I've found is that mine is kind of being shifted to the outside, so it's causing a little bit of it's like rubbing, tracking in the wrong position, which is causing some inflammation and the pain within me. So the main things that I found were my quad muscles were weak in some areas, tight in the others. So my rectus femoris and my T-band, which is more mid to outside of my leg, were very tight, and my VMO, which is your vastus medialis on the middle, was weaker. So the VMO is like your teardrop muscle right on the middle of the leg, and I found that was weaker and the outside was tight. So one way I actually found I could like test almost at home of doing that is when I would straighten my leg and just flex it as hard as I could, I would get a lot of pain in my knee. But if I actually like physically with my thumb pushed my kneecap more into the center of where it kind of should be, and then I flexed my knee, I had no pain. So clearly there's nothing like really torn or ruptured or injured in there, but it was just kind of tracking in the wrong position. So what I've been mainly trying to do was trying to get it to track in the right position. So I talked about my feet and the shoes I'm wearing and stuff. So that obviously is playing a combo of it being pulled out in the wrong direction and causing other muscles to be too tight and not putting tension on where it should be, such as on my VMO, which could be causing it to be weak. So a big thing I started to do was rolling out a lot more. I rolled over whatever was the most painful part, essentially, but just trying to get long throughout the entire muscle and just kind of loosening everything up in there with the roller. I do that like every morning now at my apartment gym here. And also is a really good stretch I have for, it's almost for a hip flexor and down your quads, is I'll show you here. You set it up with a band behind your leg that's going back, so it's actually pulling your femur almost out of the hip socket, and in the process you put your foot up on the bench, lunge position, you guys seen the video, and what I kind of do is I just thrust my hips forward and kind of flex my glute as hard as I can. And I'm not gonna lie, this stretch sometimes feels like your quad is tearing off the bone, and it can be very painful, but clearly it's working well. So those are two things I've been doing to loosen that up. And I'm not gonna get into tiny little exercise for the VMO and stuff, but it's a lot of like small knee extension things. So like setting yourself up on top of a box and your knee you're strengthening on the box, your other one out a bit forward, and just kind of standing up, doing like 2 inches raise. On it, you can look these exercises up on the internet. There's so many little things to knee strengthening exercises for like parts of your VMO and all that. So if you guys want to check those out, you should look up rectus femoris exercises and some VMO exercises, because those are some of the main muscles in your quad that attach to the knee, and strengthening those can help all sorts of knee pain. So a big thing I've been doing is that. Also, I go see a RMT massage therapist just about every week, and he's really, mainly thing we focus on is opening up the outside of my quads, my T-band, just to get my knee tracking in the right position. And he'll test it out before and after, tell me to flex my leg, it'll hurt, and then he'll open everything up, and once it's tracking in the right position, I flex my knees as hard as I can, and I'll have zero pain. Obviously, just like immediately after the treatment, stuff still tightens up after that. So we're working on getting that completely loosened up, and on my own I'm working on strengthening my VMO and just all the muscles kind of around my knee so it's in the right position. So the other thing that I've read about and been doing myself is just training with no pain. I mean, it sounds blatant when you say it like that, but I learned this one from, it was Stan Efferding, learned it from Stuart McGill, this doctor who has a book on injury prevention and rehab, I believe. So essentially it's just finding movements that have zero pain. So I mentioned earlier that I didn't even train anything for like 3 months and nothing got better because I wasn't doing anything to help it. I wasn't strengthening any muscles in there. I wasn't doing shit. So I mentioned you can do like the little rehab exercises that your physiotherapist or all of them will teach you, was kind of no weight, body weight, and those are just mainly to focus on like almost activation and getting the tiny little muscles going. But I mean, we're bodybuilders, we want to get in the gym and actually move some weight. So that when I first got back into it, I was trying to find movements that caused me zero pain. So the number one thing for me was leg press, either one leg, two leg press, and I put my knees up high on the board and I tried to focus on just driving through my heels. And when I started, I had very bad range of motion, and if I could bring it down deeper, but when I brought it down deeper, it caused me a lot of pain. So like I said, the whole point of this is training with zero pain. So the only movement I could do with zero pain when I started was like quarter rep leg press that was it. So that's all I did. I would do like 12 sets of that and then go train my hamstrings and go home because that's all I could do. But through doing that, it actually helped strengthen it a lot. And almost each week I noticed I could get more and more depth into my leg press. So it helped a lot. And not only are you finding the exercise that causes you zero pain, but absolutely avoiding anything that causes pain. So squat was the number one thing for me that was causing me pain. So I haven't been able to squat at all in 6 months, and it's saddening, and I cry every night, but it's what I'm doing to get better, and it's what I gotta do. So avoid and take out anything that's causing pain. Just don't do it. You're gonna make it worse. Obviously, this is for people who have long-term injuries like myself. If you have a little bit of knee pain every now and then yeah, you can especially if you're in contest prep, you can suck it up, power through it. But if you've been like debilitated to the point where you couldn't train like at all, like I couldn't at the start, and it's been this long, then you need to do something about it and fix it. So that's what I'm doing. And another thing I found was bodyweight lunges, which can be a very humbling exercise, especially if you do it properly. So I take long strides, try and drive through my heel on the way up, and just really focus on bringing my hips up and putting all the tension on my upper quad, and just slowly contract that muscle and really feel it. And you could do like 20 steps forward, 20 steps back of this, and I guarantee you, especially after a little leg press, your quads can be fried to the point where you can barely walk. So you don't even need any weight, and it's, like I said, it can be a very humbling exercise. But another thing that I found that helped me a lot. Also, a big thing on the training aspect is that a big thing that causes the pain in the knee and your tendon is for that tendon to relax and then all of a sudden be back in action, especially with a load on it. So when I leg press, if I have the option or they're there, I put bands on the leg press, and it just causes to keep a little more constant tension on the joint. So even when you're at the bottom, you can't just kind of let the weight sit there like that. The bands are pulling it back a little bit harder, and it keeps the tension on that joint a little bit more. You never want to bring the weights down and just kind of relax and like relax everything, because you're in a fully strength, whatever, you're at the bottom of the rep and you're just letting it relax on your body, and then all of a sudden you push it off you. So your joints just go from just relaxed, just like engaged all of a sudden, and that puts a lot of unneeded tension on them and can cause stress. So as well, I start my all my workouts now with recumbent bike cardio. So I avoid walking from that. Like I said, when you're in the air, your joints relax, and then the impact on the ground puts a little bit of tension on it. I mean, I don't avoid walking. I still walk around in life, but I mean, I don't do like a quick walk for a warm up or whatever. I still have to walk in life, but I don't run. That's for damn sure. But I stick to the recumbent bike because it allows me to put a little bit of pump in my knees. I put the resistance pretty high, and I pedal through it for like just 10 minutes before I work out, maybe a little bit longer on leg day, but it allows you to get the blood flowing through there. You can even get a decent little pump in your quads if you do like some little bit of hit on there. It's just a great way to get blood flowing and help that joint recover. So I think that's really all I wanted to touch on. I didn't want to push too much things that are out of your control. I mainly want to talk about things that like you can do actively at home, because that's what I believe is the most important part of fixing injuries. It's stuff that you can control in every day, and like exercises that you have power of yourself. So nothing like going to doctors and getting like the stem cell infusions or the red blood cell infusion, all that kind of stuff. And like I mentioned earlier, the little exercises you do for like strengthening the small parts of your knee and stuff, those are all stuff that if you go see a physiotherapist, they will tell you specifically what you need to do, so I'm not going to get too deep into that. Or if you want to look up, like I said, VMO or rectus femoris exercises, then you can go ahead and find definitely some good shit on the internet with that. But I just wanted to the main thing that I needed to touch on was the shoes, ankle support, having a good sole in your shoe, because your feet are so damn important, especially for bodybuilders, because we're so fat and heavy. And the exercises that have absolutely zero pain, because putting it through the little bit of movements that you can do it will work wonders for you, and it will definitely help your knee get back to, or whatever is injured. Moving it and putting it through a little bit of work with no pain is what will help it be back to 100%. And there's another thing that everyone talks to. I haven't tried it yet, but it's peptides, BPC 157 and TB 500. I've heard wonders about them. There's no actual proof that they're 100% work, but there's a lot of anecdotal evidence, a lot of people who said they've tried them and have felt wondrous results from it. I mean, I just haven't tried it because I don't really like the shit that just like for trial only, research purposes only, sorry, when you buy this stuff. But you can order most of it online. If you want to give it a shot, go for it. I've heard it helps. But yeah, so mainly all the stuff I wanted to touch on, and probably a pretty long video of me just talking, so if you're bored, sorry. But yeah, I gotta get back to my busy day, so hopefully I get some more interesting videos out soon. I'm filming another workout, I believe, with Mark next week, so get some training going, and till then, back to work.